If you want to learn how to become more magnetic and attractive, these are the feminine energy traits that you need to embody. If you missed part 1, definitely watch part 1. This is part 2. Hey babes, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you're not new here, thank you so much for being a part of this fam. My name is Marianne Valenza, and we talk about manifestation, feminine energy, spirituality, and so much more on this channel. Definitely subscribe if you love all that stuff. Click that notification bell, and if you can't get enough of me and this topic, I post daily videos on Instagram and TikTok. If you missed my live masterclass on sex magic for manifestation and healing, you still have a chance to watch it. This was such a transformative 2-hour plus live workshop, like with people all over the world. Definitely don't miss out on it. There's so much nuggets of wisdom and goodness in this video. So watch the replay, click the link below. You still have time to access it. So you want to be magnetic and attractive. This is part 2, and I'm going to go straight into it. Softness. One of the feminine energy traits that will help you become just so magnetic and attractive is softness. What do I mean by this? I get this question all the time. Softness is the opposite of being hard, being guarded. And a really good example I can come up with is, let's say you're arguing with your romantic partner, someone that you love. It doesn't have to be romantic, someone that you love. And masculine energy tends to be more like, it's hard, it's like it gets more aggressive or angrier, right? And then both of your volumes, what happens? If you meet it with more masculine energy of like, I want to prove a point, and you keep fighting, it's only going to escalate even more. And I used to do this. Before I was unaware of a lot of toxic traits that I had, I wanted to fight more. So I would go into arguments with even more aggression. I would not listen to the other person. I would just keep at it. And nothing ever happened. It just got worse and worse. And things festered. That relationship, unfortunately, didn't go well because I admit I was toxic at that time and didn't know anything about feminine energy. And now, when it comes to that, I lead with openness. Actually, my husband and I don't really fight because we talk through everything. I may get annoyed sometimes, usually I'm PMSing, but that's a different story, or I'm hangry. But I lead with softness. When you lead with softness, you calm down and you lead with more compassion. You're softer in your approach. You allow the person to unravel. And when you're softer, you can actually get your point across more. Don't you listen to someone more instead of yelling even louder than you and they come down and they soften? It actually brings your energy down. It helps bring that masculine energy down and you start becoming more relaxed. That's the power of softness. Softness, compassion, and your approach. It's so magnetic and so attractive because our world now is just filled with a lot of hard energy. It's so combative, right? But especially in a relationship, fighting gets tiring. It gets old. Do you really want to be with someone that is just always guarded and hard and aggressive, especially when you have things to talk about? No. You want to be with someone that's softer, that's able to express themselves, that has compassion. Because that's where the learning is. That's where the growth is. Another feminine energy trait that is so attractive and so magnetic is to be sensual. What does it mean to be sensual? To be sensual means to really tap into your senses. Someone who is tapped into their sense of touch. If you are someone who physical touch is one of your top love languages, you'd want someone who is sensual because they love touching, they love that intimacy. Unfortunately, many people haven't been touched, and I'm not talking about sexually, but just in an intimate way. There's a lack of intimacy in our world because people are afraid to be sensual. Being sensual can mean a hug, a real, hugging someone. That's touch. Maybe it's just touching someone on their elbow to know that you're there for them. Being sensual is taking things in with your senses. It's learning to enjoy the food that you eat. It's smelling things. One of the things that my husband always says is that he loves how when I feel things or eat things, I like really get into it. And he's like, it's so sexy. Like food, you're like, yes, food. When I smell perfumes, and I love perfumes and colognes, I actually posted a few videos on perfumes and fragrances for feminine energy. Check it out. He said, I just love how you just get into it. I love watching you just enjoy it. Being sensual means enjoying things with your senses. I love sleeping in satin and silk and having pillowcases of that. It makes me feel good. It puts me in a better mood. That's what being sensual is really just taking pleasure with your senses in what you hear, maybe the music that you're listening to, what you're smelling, what you're tasting, what you're eating. It's such an attractive and magnetic quality. And people just want to be around that. Haven't you, especially if you're a foodie, you have someone around you and there's food and they're eating the dessert, just their reaction alone can make you also want to eat that dessert. You're like, I didn't want to, but you're making that look real good right now. And you try it because it's magnetic. It gets you to attracted to that same dish that before you're like, but because you saw that person's sensual reaction to this food, now you want to try it too. That's the power of sensuality. The third attractive and magnetic feminine energy trait is expressiveness. And this ties in with sensuality. So expressiveness is just knowing that you have the ability to express your emotions, express how you feel. When you look at someone and you know that they're excited and they're happy and they light up, right? Isn't that so magnetic and attractive? One of the things that, again, I'm gonna use my husband as an example, he loves when he watches me eat because I get so happy. And I'm like giddy. I know all of you, if you guys are foodies, you're like, if you get hangry like me, you can go from like grouch to eating food and then you're just like dancing. I dance with my food. But you're expressive. When he gives me gifts, I'm so grateful and expressive. I like jump up and down. I'm so like, because I'm genuinely very expressive. I've learned to tap into that. This wasn't something that came naturally to me. I was growing up as someone who comes from an Asian background, who has a tiger mom. It's like no expression. You just want to like, you don't want people to really know what you're thinking or feeling. And you need to just like look so composed all the time. There's no fun in that. That's not as attractive. Do you want to approach someone that maybe has resting bitch face? You know, sometimes I do. But I've realized that when you're with your partner or just people around you, it's okay to express your emotions. Being expressive is attractive and it is magnetic. Try it out for yourself. Don't hold it in. Let's say there's a song that you love and in your mind you're like, yay! But you're like, that's cool. That's not attractive. You want the person that's like, this is an awesome dance. Everybody, rock your body, right? Like you just want to get into it. They're expressive. So that is super magnetic. The last super magnetic and attractive feminine energy trait is being creative and knowing how to express that creativity. There's just something magnetic when you see an artist getting into their work, they're in flow state, or a dancer expressing themselves, or someone composing music, even someone cooking, and they're in their flow state and letting their creativity flow. That's so attractive. And it lights you up. It inspires you to be attractive and magnetic and creative as well. So creativity, learn to express it in all the ways that you feel called to. Creativity is something we all have, yet we've been taught that creativity is something that little kids do when they're drawing or coloring, and as adults, you know, we don't need to do that. We just need to work all the time. People have been so out of touch with their creativity. People say, oh, I'm not creative. I beg to differ. Everyone is creative, yet for so long they've suppressed that creativity. Maybe it's creativeness through art. Maybe it's creativeness through building new businesses. Maybe it's creativeness through cooking or baking. Maybe it's creativeness through building furniture or painting something. Maybe it's collaging, singing, however it is, express your creativity. because when you do, it is absolutely magnetic. If you loved all these traits and you want to learn how to embody more, definitely check out part 1. Part 3 is coming up, and let me know in the comments below, which of these feminine energy traits do you want to embody more? Thanks for watching, babes. Again, if you love my channel and all this content, definitely subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you love daily content, check out my Instagram and TikTok. All right? Oh, and before I forget, Sex Magic Masterclass, link below, definitely check it out.